Hi, I'm Tarot Shy, and today we're going to be talking about the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau. So this federal agency essentially investigates credit lenders and collection agencies. They also enforce the Equal Credit Opportunity Act and the Fair Housing Act. So if you have been following my readings, we have been talking about how people, their claims for houses, cars, loans, credit cards, how the Karmics found some type of way to have their, the applications denied. There are laws, like I said, the Equal Credit Opportunity Act and the Fair Housing Act that protects consumers, essentially. And when someone breaks those laws, or creditors and lenders are, fraudulently giving you bills that's higher than what they should be, or not applying the money to your mortgages, your credit card bills, your auto financing loans or bills, then that's when, they are essentially breaking the law and are investigated by the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau. I really hope that made sense. So just to break it down, if your credit, particularly your FICO score essentially is what's used for mortgages, credit cards, and auto financing. So if any of those was affected by the Karmic, a group of Karmics, a secret society, whatever at this point, right? They're being investigated by the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau. So we have insurance companies, we have doctors' offices, a real estate agency, a travel agency. We have pharmacies and funeral homes, a bodega, corner store. We have city employees, investors, someone who works for a courthouse, a university or a college. We also have like a cable company because more cards came out, but Xfinity, Comcast specifically. And car dealerships, creditors, a lender, basically a collection company. So just to sum it up, it looks like anybody who generates bills that can affect your credit. So if you go to a doctor's office and you're paying your copay deductible, but they're not putting it like to your bill, and they're sending your bill over to the insurance company, then it basically looks like you're not paying your medical bill. Same would go for pharmacies and your medications, maybe making you pay more for your medication that you shouldn't be paying for. We also have a city employee with a court clerk. So again, maybe this has something to do with wills, inheritances, specifically that has to do with property. Again, with the car dealerships, I'm getting that people are lending out mortgages or loans maybe in your name to other people, or people are putting loans, car loans, mortgages, credit cards, all these things under dead people name, because we also have the funeral home out here. So basically anybody that has to deal with a specific collection agency or a specific creditor or lender, because maybe that all ties into everyone that's involved in this organized crime to essentially do things that lowers your credit score and your FICO score so that you can't get a car, a house, a business, or even a credit card or a loan. Because somehow the people who may be affiliated with these businesses, organizations, jobs, all have a hand with working with a specific collection agency, creditor, lender, to essentially lower your FICO score, which breaks, your federal, it's really hard to articulate, that essentially, violates the laws that you have under the Equal Credit Opportunity Act and the Fair Housing Act. Forgive the noise harassment in the background. We have a church, a pastor, a first lady, a landlord, a property manager, a principal of a school administrator. We have a veteran or someone who is active duty in the military, a social or a caseworker, a warehouse worker. We have a courier worker, a postal worker, so somebody that definitely handles shipments in some type of way, a lawyer, and a paramedic. We have a mechanic, a pediatrician, or someone who works at a pediatrician's office, and a government federal employee. What I'm getting is the bribes that these people are taking to commit these crimes against the collective, they're probably getting paid for in property and with credit cards, loans, lines of credit, and cars. A lot of people have been talking about when they're being gang stalked by people with, temporary tags or out-of-state tags, or they're even in the same car with the same type of tint and everything. That's because that's one of the ways they're getting paid, besides the drugs and everything else, is, essentially the things that I just stated, especially the cars. That's why we had the car dealership out there. So yes, this person definitely works for the city, and it's definitely confirmed that they're taking bribes, because it looks like they have put businesses in your name. They have stole anything pertaining to your medical health, to do credit card fraud, check fraud. They're altering vital records, death records, marriage records, because again, we were talking about how the bribes that they were receiving, the houses, the cars, things like that, were put into people who were dead name, or your name, and possibly your children's name. Maybe they could have had some things put in your name when you were a child, or maybe they're starting to put it in your child's names. For those of you that had your children, taken away from you by the system, your children's information now is essentially being used, because again, these karmics are also using, disabled children to collect SSI, things like that, in your children's name in multiple states. And they're altering the paternity of the kids, minors who are pregnant, and the karmic adult women who are pregnant by minors. They're altering the lab results, or paying people with these bribes to essentially alter the lab results. So yes, if your children was taken away and they have either been impregnated while in the system, or they impregnated an adult, or your child's information was used to gain property, loans, anything like that, Social Security benefits, what have you, in multiple states, it looks like CPS, the Inspector General, is involved as well. Looks like the IRS, the Better Business Bureau, as well as the FTC and the SEC are helping the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau. The people involved in this particular part of the organized crime will be raided and will be going to jail. Side note, somebody's green card or work visa is false, and they're going to be raided by ICE. They're coming after the ones that do insider trading and pump and dump schemes as well. If you resonate with any of these, you can expect this.